I think people get scared of, especially people not growing up in a violent society or not growing up around violence, get scared of the fact that you want to teach them something to address violence, and then they're like, but we don't want to do that. That's not who we are. We don't want to become that. But I mean, there's a lot of soft skills that can be taught and learned in addressing this. You were mentioning now something like detection. If you understand the OODA loop, or you understand the Cooper's color code of awareness, then you can really walk around every day and be on the lookout for anything that stands out to being suspicious.
Yeah, whether it's foe or friend.
Yeah.
But it's also then not getting to the point, because I've had people say to me, oh, but that's being paranoid. And I go, no. Paranoia is when we have no control over ourselves. We start to, we're triggered by the thing, and now we lock ourselves in the house. That's paranoid.
Yeah.
This is about being prepared.
Prepared.
Yeah.
Prepared. Simple thing. One of the tools that I always carry with me is a tourniquet.
Yep.
Knowing how to apply this, I'm walking in the mall, somebody gets stabbed, I can help stop bleeding.
Somebody lives.
Somebody lives.
Hmm.
All right. If I know how to control and stop the bleed, I can help and assist with that. I myself get stabbed, or at work, wherever I am, I get slashed open, blood spurting all over the show. I can slap on my TQ, I can bind it off and wait for the paramedics to come.
Yeah.
And I've got a chance at life. So I think it's also important for people to understand that we're not all about the bad stuff, the guns and the booms and the bangs, but we're also about the soft skills.
Yeah.
Where it becomes a responsibility as a citizen. Me walking around in a mall amongst other civilians with a tourniquet and knowing how to apply that makes me an asset to the community.
100%. And I mean, if we look at like those soft skills, if you look at your VIP security, so your bodyguard, your professional bodyguard, when he's got to the fight section, he's stuffed up. Because the detect and the diffuse, and the fact that detection and the deter, those first few Ds in that 5D process is where he's got to be really good at.
Yeah.
Because if he does that well, he never gets into the defend.
Yeah.
He never has that problem. That's when everything else failed. So it's really important, as you say, like to carry something like a tourniquet, because it may not be a violent attack. It may be just that you working in a factory and you've slit your arm open, or your work colleagues slit their arm open, and because you've done first aid training, CPR, and you're carrying the tools with you, you're there and that person lives.
And that makes you prepared.
Yes.
Not paranoid.
Not paranoid. Yeah.
In our book that we've been writing so long for now, we've been writing for
it's taking a while. Yes.
It's taken a couple of years, but we're getting around to it. We're talking about understanding or knowing the wolf, and this is all about that.
Yeah, yeah. Because and the title of the book is called Beware the Wolf, and the reason we've called it that is because, you know, if we look at that, there's sort of three types of people walking around the planet, and one is our sheep. Your general average person just out there, going to work, coming home, wants to raise a family, doing all those nice things, wants to live peacefully. Unfortunately, for them to live peacefully, we need the military, we need the police, we need the martial artists, and they're your sheepdogs. They're the guys that are going to keep you safe, the guys and girls, to be politically correct. And then you've got your wolf, and your wolf comes in a sheep's clothing. He's disguised. He looks like, I mean, your average serial killer looks like an average person on the street. Ted Bundy,
Yes.
good-looking guy, killed, 30 women. And they wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah.
But it's having those as you call them, soft skills of being able to identify that. Little things that just don't add up. things in their language and their body language which aren't congruent. And that throws up a red flag of, hang on, wait, that doesn't sound right, or that doesn't look right. And being aware of that to the point where your intuition, that gut feeling, is telling you, get the hell out of here.
There's a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem. And I mean, psychologists call it thin slicing, and there's a book called Blink by Michael Cladwell. A brilliant book to read, because he talks about the fact that we walk into a room, and as soon as we walked into a room, our brain basically does an MRI scan of that and thin slices the entire room, and we'll pick up things that just don't feel right, and we've all done it. We've walked into a room of people, and you just walk around and you don't know anybody there, or you know one person and you're talking to them, and you look at somebody else, you go, I don't like them. You don't know why. You've never met them. Nobody's told you anything about them. Never seen the guy or the woman before, and everything screams wrong. Yeah, because we're hot-wired.
Yeah,
that's how we've survived. And unfortunately, with modern times, we've learned to, well, we've been conditioned to turn that off.